Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsung Kung. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dukten Dorji. Homage to the rituals of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, Mahamayuri, the Peacock King Buddha Mother Vidyarajni. Snu, Dukten City, Tenchin Katso, Dukten City, Dukten Kama, and all Dhamma masters, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma tutors, and all disciples present here over the internet. How do you do? I would like to announce for next Sunday, for June 16 at 3 p.m., there would be Padma Kumara, the Lotus Youth Homa Fire Offering Ceremony. We are all very clear about this one. There is no need to say more. Whether you would want to become supplicant or not, go ahead. Today we perform Mahamayuri. This deity actually is truly great, primarily because her face and her crown that she's wearing belong to Vairocana Buddha. The face and the crown of Vairocana Buddha. That's called Niskanayana. And so Mahamayuri is the same as Vairocana Buddha. That's called the Nishyandakaya. Second, Sakyamuni Buddha was once during his 500 lifetimes as a bodhisattva was once a peacock king. So Mahamayuri is the same as Sakyamuni Buddha function body. And in Sukhavati, Amitabha Buddha manifested parrots, peacocks, jivajikas, and kalavinkas who can produce the harmonious, graceful sound. And among them are the peacocks in Sukhavati. So Mahamayuri is a transformation body of Amitabha Buddha. So with this, the blessings of these three Buddhas, and Sakyamuni Buddha also spoke on Vimalakirti Sutra. And Vimalakirti assembly is the whole sky. All the sun, the moon, and the stars and constellations are her retinue and assembly. So we can say Vimalakirti is the greatest wisdom king or Vidyarajni. Three Buddhas, the whole cosmos, her assembly. But we have the least primary supplicants. Oh, really? That's why people in the Saha world are very few that can be delivered. This is such a grand deity, a union of three Buddhas, and yet, please pass me this empowerment vase. It's quite heavy. Is it gold? It's about 3 to 4 kilos. This empowerment vase that's used in Tantric Buddhism is to imitate a peacock, Vimalakirti, Vidyarajni. When you take refuge in Tantric Buddhism, you need to receive an empowerment. And this is the peacock feathers. This is the head of the peacock and the body of a peacock. So empowerment vase is Vimalakirti. So tantric empowerments are the start of all Dharma practices, and yet you did not register to become primary supplicants for Vimalakirti Vidyarajni, and yet all empowerments are using Vimalakirti empowerment days, right? Tantric Buddhism all starts from the Vimalakirti as the empowerment. So people in this world don't know and don't understand. She can eliminate all poisons, all the poisons from a human's body. In the past, someone wrote a book that without poisons, the body is light. Have you read the book? Why do you get sick? Because you have poison in your body. And Vimalakirti, with her blessing, your poisons will be gone from your body and your illnesses will be alleviated. When Sakyamuni Buddha spoke on the Vimalakirti Sutra was because of a bhikshu who was bitten by a poisonous snake. And with that causes and condition, the Buddha spoke on Vimalakirti. And Vimalakirti can eradicate all poisons from your body. If you have no poisons, then you will not get sick. And the MC already said what she's holding, peacock feathers to subjugate, white lotus for purification, and the red affinity fruit for magnetizing, love and harmony, and then the yellow auspicious fruit for enhancements of great fortune and wisdom. Yet people don't know to become primary supplicants. That's so strange. I thought I don't need to introduce much about this deity. Everyone would become primary supplicants. But it turned out they were the least registrants. When I saw that, I felt upset in my heart. Pain. All sentient beings who practice Tantrayana start with empowerments, and that's Vimalakirti. Vimalakirti's empowerment base as a beginning of all tantric practices. That's a very common thing. When you drive and pass 148th Avenue in Bellevue, do you see a store there? An Indian store or restaurant, Mayuri, which means peacock. And what we chant as Moili, and that's the name of the store. Grocery store, Mayuri, which means peacock, on 148th Avenue. It's written Mayuri, Moili in Chinese. Very famous. And also in India, there was the Mauryan Empire, the Peacock Empire. And the Mauryan king and it spread far and wide and set up a Sakyamuni Buddha stupa. So this very famous Mayuri purification, enrichment, magnetization, subjugation, eradication of illnesses. All illnesses can be eradicated. Do you know her assembly include? Above are the 7 Buddhas. 7 Buddhas, the past 7 Buddhas. And also Maitreya. And all the Pratyeka Buddhas and Shravakas, the great arhats, Sravaka is divided into 4 levels. Our hearts are at the highest. And then at the non-returning, not returners, and then once returners, and stream enters. 4 levels of our hearts, our hardships, Sravakahood. Prateka Buddhas are those who are enlightened based on the 12 links of dependent origination. They are all her assembly, and the 8 heavenly kings, and then the 28 zodiac constellation, and the 12 zodiac constellation are all included. What's popular in Japan now? Cannibals. Virus. 28 yaksas. Then you can use Mahamayuri to eradicate the viruses. Now in Japan there's like the virus that eat humans, and also swine flu, the coronavirus, flus, all the viruses can be eradicated. And also the mad cow disease can be eradicated by Mahamayuri. The swine flus too. So in the future, if you encounter Mahamayuri Homa, you should pay attention. Although sentient beings, every person has eyes, but you have eyes but no eyeballs. So they don't know that Mahamayuri has so much benefits that it can eradicate all illnesses, and yet let me tell some jokes first. The son asks his dad, someone is bald. What should he do to have hair on his head? And the dad said, oh, you want to have hair on a bald head? You should go see a doctor. And the son said, no, you should see a horror movie. Why? Because the hair would rise when you watch a horror movie. A young man wanted to get liberty, so he asked the Statue of Liberty, how should I get a liberty? And she replied, do you see that I'm liberated? Do I have liberty? The statue answered, Even the Statue of Liberty does not have liberty. The wife told the husband, thinking about college time, there were 3 girls, junior, and I saved them. And the husband said, "Oh, comparing to me, that's far. So how come I don't know that you have been a hero saving girls? See, because I stick my head and marry you, so I have saved all the men in the world." Asking everyone, what kind of head is not a head? Oh, this is also Chinese. A steam bun. Yeah, this is it's a Chinese pun. What kind of ball you cannot kick is the earth. Because in Chinese, it's like the earth ball. Now we'll do the Q&A. It's written here, please don't say my name. And please don't say the country. It's not convenient to say my name and the country. Well, in that case, why are you still asking me? Grandmaster, peace with you. Recently, I have a puzzling question. Grandmaster, in your discourse, you said that Guru's starlight body brought the souls of Palestinian refugees and handed them over to Dharma Sister Han Yu, and that Dharma Sister Han Yu also performs the deliverance of 1,000 Dharma vessels every day. So, does the deliverance of souls require a physical person to recite the deliverance mantra for them to be delivered? Can the Guru's starlight body directly deliver them? Previously, during a Dharma ceremony, the Guru also mentioned that Golden Mother brought a deceased celebrity to the ceremony to receive Bhadra deliverance. Why can't Golden Mother deliver that celebrity directly? Guru said that celebrity have a karmic connection with Golden Mother. In your books, it's been recorded that Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva also introduced 2 deceased souls who were reincarnations of great bodhisattvas. And Avalokitesvara asked Grandmaster to do the Bhadra deliverance. Why can't Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva deliver them directly? Because it's inconvenient to say your name and your country. So it's also inconvenient for me to reply. So this is all due to causes and condition. During the part 2 deliverance, it started for the COVID-19 sufferers. So I did part 2 deliverance for those who died from COVID-19. And it started from then, using the thousands Dhamma vessels, performing the part 2 deliverance every day until today. I never skip a day. So the 1,000 Dhamma vessels became one of the key practices of Grandmaster Lu. Haven't stopped. And now there are less people who died from COVID-19, but in the past there were many more. So later on, Siddhikarma Bodhisattva invoke all the spirits who needed to be Bhadra delivered. So Siddhikarma Bodhisattva was entrusted to do that. And also those who died in the military, or the military men who died, those who died from wars, those who died in addition to those who died from COVID-19. And just commoners and military men, and also aborted fetuses, all Bhadra delivered. So now the Bhadra deliverances are very broad. And Siddhikarma Bodhisattva is the one who gathered them. And also my Bhadra deliverance includes those who register for Bhadra deliverance using Dhamma vessels. So many disciples are also Bhadra delivered. There was one disciple that was strange. Her mother received Bhadra deliverance, but she did not want to get on board the Dharma vessel. So I asked her, why don't you get on board the 1,000 Dhamma vessels? And she said, I'm not used to a crowd with so many people. So I transformed a little boat just for her alone and sent her off to Sukawati. And then later on, I asked that disciple, how come your mother, all the others get on board the 1,000 Dhamma vessels except just her by herself? So what's going on with your mother? And she said, finally, that all her life, her mother never interacted with anyone outside. So it's like antisocial isolatedness. She doesn't talk to outside people or interact with them. She lived by herself all her life. Oh, when I heard that, oh, that's what happened. So I especially manifested a small boat for her to follow the 1,000 Dhamma vessels to go to Sukawati. And I don't know how she's going to meet Amitabha Buddha there, because she's not interacting with anybody. So we have to rely on the power of Amitabha Buddha to correct her, to fix her. So there are many strange, interesting things happening in the 1,000 Dhamma vessels by due diligence. So that's why I say the 1,000 Dhamma vessels, it's for those that have affinity. Without the affinity, it would be hard to build due diligence. So I asked Dhamma Sister Han Yi to perform the 1,000 Dhamma vessels for due diligence. Is Dhamma Sister Han Yi here? She was speaking Dakini language and singing Dakini language yesterday. It's you again. Are you performing 1,000 Dhamma vessels for due diligence? Yes. Every day? Then it's okay to ask you to those who have affinity with you, like the refugee from Palestine. Of course, my starlight body can also perform it, but the Palestinian refugees have a more affinity with her. Please be seated. They are really to be pitied, because that's their homeland for the Palestinian. But the Hebrews was from the Exodus from Egypt, when they were wandering in the desolate wilderness for many, many years. Moses climbed on Mount Sinai and then pointed to that piece of land and said that God gifted that piece of land for you. And when they got there, they had to fight for it before they could build Israel. And yet, when of course the leaders of Palestine also did something wrong, it's hard to judge because we don't get involved in politics. But in reality, the Palestinians are the indigenous people of that area, or the locals of that area. And that's the area where Jesus spread the gospel. Jesus was in Palestine, which is Bethlehem, Jerusalem. So he was born in Bethlehem, and when he died, he was in Jerusalem. And the Sea of Galilee is where Jesus was spreading gospel. It's written as a sea, but actually it's a lake. So Peter was a fisherman who also delivered a few fishermen. So why did I let Han Yi perform Bible deliverance? Because Han Yi was a Christian before and also studied the Bible. And then the area, so she was a Christian, and Grandmaster was also a Christian, a Presbyterian church. And how about you? What church? You are part of the... You were not baptized, but you just joined. Somebody else said yes. So she has affinity with the Palestinian. because that's the place where Jesus spread the gospel. And lastly, he went to Nazareth. And Jesus was Hebrew. So I'm very familiar with those areas, and I've been there too. And they called my name. They could call my name. That's very strange. They called me Andre. They call me Andre or Andrew. So that's because of affinity. That's why I let Han Yi do the Bardo deliverance. It's not the case that the starlight body cannot perform Bardo deliverance, because Han Yi was also a Christian who studied the Bible. And there was a celebrity in Taiwan that was brought by Golden Mother to be Bardo delivered by me here. And the celebrity, I give the wedding blessing, the nuptial thing. So Golden Mother said, because you give the wedding blessing, so you have affinity, so you do the Bardo deliverance. It's a very simple thing. And then Avalokiteswara too, the same. Why that she doesn't Bardo deliver them directly and asking me to do the Bardo deliverance? Well, it's just because of affinity. So this is my answer to the one inconvenient to say the name and the country. So that I've said the above is already nice and easy for you. So nowadays many people are siding or feeling empathetic toward the Palestinians. So the reason why they went there was because Moses went up to Mount Sinai and pointed to that piece of land. Why did they want to go there? I don't know. We're not talking about politics here. We can't touch on the politics. That's how it is now. But actually, they all came from the same ancestors. Why are we warring against each other? Let's not do that. The same with North Vietnam and South Vietnam. The same ancestors, North and South Korea. And then Palestine and Israel, also the same ancestor. We only talk about Bardo deliverance. It's okay, we just perform Bardo deliverance for those who suffer or perish. That's out of the subject. Now, let's get back to the main subject. So, chapter 9, entering the Dharma gate of non-duality. At that time, Vimalakirti addressed the assembly of Bodhisattvas, saying, Virtuous ones, how does a bodhisattva enter the gate of non-duality? Please explain according to your understanding. In the assembly, there was a bodhisattva named Dharma Self-Mastery who said, Virtuous ones, birth and death are dualistic. The Dharma is originally unborn, and thus it is without extinction. Attaining this unborn endurance is entering the Dharma gate of non-duality. So, at that time, Vimalakirti addressed the assembly of great bodhisattvas. I've talked about loving kindness for all and great compassion for all without differentiations. The mantra of Sakyamuni Buddha. Moni means the benevolent one, is the one who can perform or practice a benevolence or loving kindness. And Vimalakirti told the bodhisattvas, you're all very compassionate. Do you know what the Dharma gate of non-duality is? When you go to temples in China, as you're entering into the temple gate, there would be a placard that with the writing on it, non-dual gate. Have you seen it? So that is the same as entering the Dharma gate of non-duality. So it's the absolute truth that's non-dual. When it is dualistic, then there would be relativity. But Buddhism is absolute. No second guessing, no second thing. So how does a bodhisattva enter the gate of non-duality? Vimalakirti told all the bodhisattvas. So please explain according to your understanding how to enter the Dharma gate of non-duality. So in the assembly, there was a bodhisattva named Dharma Self-Mastery who said, all benevolent ones, birth and death are dualistic. So being born and die, those are two different things. When we were born, everyone was happy. When one dies, everyone is grieving and sad. When they're attending funerals, they don't dare to laugh. They pretend to be very sad. How can you laugh at the funeral? So, and then at someone's birth, everybody's happy, or babies being born. Everybody's congratulating. But when one dies, all that's left is just a memorial. So birth and death are dualistic. But the vision of a bodhisattva is further and broader than that of a human. But the Dharma is originally unborn, and thus it is without extinction. And this Dharma means the whole earth, which means everything that has form is never unborn in this whole world. and therefore it doesn't die, because when there is no birth, how can there be death? So Buddhism said that everything physical, everything with form and phenomena, people, even when they appear, it's temporary. Someone wrote this, I think by the disciple. From humans on earth to the extinction of humans, and then it's been over 7 times that the earth has gone through creation and extinction. So it started out with non-existence. The earth did not exist in the beginning. So the earth was non-existing to start with. It was unborn. And that's why it's not extinct. Because it was never born, then of course it never died. And if you understand this, you have attained unborn endurance. So because you were never born, that's why you can endure anything. And because you were never born, you never cease. So it's non-arising and non-ceasing. If you're often mindful of this birthlessness, like I, Grandmaster Lu, was never born, and because I was never born, I would never die. So birth and death are just a fleeting phenomena. And from the past, at all times, it's never there. And even if it appears, it's only very temporary, and in the future it will disappear too. So when you attain that, that's called unborn endurance, which is the 8th ground of Bodhisattvahood, which is called the immovable ground. When you have attained this unborn endurance, even if you're criticized and scolded and defamed, you don't care, you're unmoved. Because I never existed to start with. There was a saying, if you're calling someone really bad word, it's okay. It's something really horrendous, horrible, it's okay. Because even the person never existed. You just treat yourself as non-existent. Then that's called unborn endurance. That's endurance. You can endure based on this. Because everything never arises, therefore they never ceases. So it doesn't matter what other people say about you, you're still unmoved. Not like Su Tongpo. So you're unmoved by the 8 winds. The 8 winds cannot blow you. And Su Tongpo wrote the verse and unmoved on top of a golden purple lotus, and then send it to the Zen master, and then wrote fart. But Su Tongpo just couldn't hold himself anymore and crossed the river to find the Zen master. And the Zen master said, "You said that the 8 winds did not move you, but with one fart, you crossed the river." So that's why what Su Tongpo wrote was fake. If you are truly unmoved by the 8 winds, then you would be unmoved. there would be unborn endurance. Then you would have attained the gate of non-duality. So it's okay, whatever people say. If you think there is self, then you would be angry. But if you have no self and no birth, what is there to be angry about? Nothing. Nothing. It's fine. It's all the same. And that's the Dharma gate of non-duality. So this Dharma self-mastery Bodhisattva said this, and every Bodhisattva says something. Benevolent ones, birth and death are dualistic. But today, Dharma, or everything, has never been born, and therefore it never ceases. That's the realm of non-phenomena. Originally, it's non-existent, and in the future, it'll be non-existent again. If you attain this, that's unborn endurance. And with unborn endurance, that's entering the Dharma gate of non-duality. So, what do you think? Do you think what the Dharma self-mastery Bodhisattva said was correct? So, when we go to Chinese temples, and as you enter the gate, there would be the writing, non-dual gate. As soon as you enter it, that's the absolute. And what it means is there is no relatives. And because of that, Grandmaster's heart mind has become the same body. I view everyone and everything as oneself. If you harm others, that's the same as harming yourself. That's why I said I would never sue anybody else, because your mind or your heart is not settled or is not even. That's why you sue someone. If you don't have any body or mind, then why would you sue anyone? That's why I made the vow never to sue anyone. But if other people sue me, it's just a phenomena of a moment. And in the future, it'll be gone. Don't think that someone is rich and that one is poor, and then you differentiate them. But actually, at the end, they're the same. I'm telling you, never differentiate or discriminate. This one is rich, that one is not. Because at the end, you can't even carry any money, not even a needle. And both people are the same. It's just a heap of white bones. So it doesn't matter whether they have money or not. It's all the same. So if I lose money, it's okay. Why? Because if you don't use it, somebody else uses it. Because money is to be used. I never use any money all my life. I never spend any money to buy anything. Everything is gifted to me. What can I say? Because people give me, so I have to wear them. People give me cars. Recently, Hanifa said, want to offer me a car and pressure me every day. I didn't ask for it. And asked Grandmaster, when will you see the car? When would you check on the car? And I said, no need to see, just bring it in. Then I'll drive it. I don't need to see. They're good cars. Because she always gave good cars. Rolls Royce, Maserati, Bentley. and the Bentley sports car. And Sumo said she doesn't feel good in a low sports car, and it depends on the road. If it's too high, then it would scrape the bottom of the car, and you, as if you sit on the floor. And she said she can't. So we should buy a Bentley SUV too. So then there are two cars. And then in the future, whichever car I like, then I'll just drive whichever one. So I have Rolls Royce, Maserati, and Bentley sports car and Bentley SUV. So I have so many cars already, just for the car. And then sometimes I'll ask someone to drive it around. Otherwise, it'll break down if it's not driven at all. And Sumo. And actually, I said that sports car is good enough, but she told her that a sports car, she would be uncomfortable. But actually, any cars would be uncomfortable for her. She would need some padding or pillows behind. She's helped a lot with Jupiter School, Sumo. After she married into the Lu family, she's actually also with Lu family name. So to Lu and Lu. And she's worked really hard at helping Jupiter School all the way till now. So I'm truly, truly grateful to Sumo. Sometimes I'm thinking, because you've been enlightened, since you're enlightened, you enter the Dharma gate of non-duality, and with the sameness, the same body, I think for her, and she suffers more, especially nowadays with her body. Her suffering is a million more times than mine, but her suffering, I can empathize, I can understand her suffering. That's why I don't dare to forget about her merit and her sacrifice and offering to Jupiter School all her life. So this is the mind of oneness, of one body. We have to understand her suffering. You know, actually, I have a very strong tenacity and determination, like in practicing meditation, writing, painting. I always have that perseverance in whatever I do, except with illness. As soon as I'm sick, I would say, it's time to die. It's time to go. I would call the heavens and the earth. I would cry 8 times a day. And I would pray to Golden Mother, and I would cry and cry every day to Golden Mother. But Sumo is incredible. She never shed tears. She's very strong willpower, more than I am. For me, it's so easy to shed tears. It's meaningful when I cry, because I want to check if my tear ducts are still open. It's really difficult to say about human world, but I really admire her willpower. She never shed tears. Even when she suffers greatly, she doesn't cry. If it had been me, I would have struck myself against the wall. But I can't kill myself. That's because of Buddha Dharma. If it had been me, I would seek euthanasia, really. Do you agree using euthanasia? No. Oh no, if you don't agree. When I was 79, I was sick almost all year round because the doctor changed the medicines. Dharma Sister Teresa, our accountant, and the same with her husband. Because of the change of medicine, he's been feeling unwell because the doctor said that the new medicine would be better. But that's the case with me. As after changing the medicine, I started to run down my body. And then when we changed back to the original one, it took a long time to recover. And one time, Vimalakirti asked me to go back. And he asked me, can you put down everything? Of course, I put down everything. I was very sick at 79. Sure. Do you have any thought about anything? About wealth, about name, sensual pleasures, food and sleep? No, nothing. So put it down. And then he gave me a bright round of light. And Vimalakirti in the sky told me, by entering this light, you return to your origin. And I said, of course, I can let go of everything. Then I'll just enter into that circle of light and become Padmakumara again and live very freely and happily. But at such moment, there was one thought, and oh no, if tomorrow morning Sumu rode on her wheelchair and drove to my bed and found that I'm gone. When I thought of that, I was supposed to take care of her. How could I leave her alone? And that thought appeared. How could I go first? Who would be taking care of her? Even if I can't take care of her, it's good enough that she can see me around. But if she saw me laying there, stiff and breathless, and I thought, oh no, nobody would take care of her. What can we do? With that one thought, the light disappeared. Vimalakirti was wanting me to go. This old man. This old man was asking me to go back. But actually, whether going back or not, I actually won. Birth is one, extinction is one. They are both one. But because of that one thought, I stayed. To truly enter the gate of non-duality is not easy. Think about it. It's also not easy to understand and be enlightened to unborn, to birthlessness, to be able to endure the slanders of other people, also very difficult. And to endure the different emotions of your loved ones are also not easy at all. They're all very difficult. That's why spiritual cultivation is a very difficult thing to do. Entering the Dharma gate of non-duality is to teach you the true spiritual cultivation or manifestation.